Now hear me. When God says go, it is because he has gone. God doesn't lead from behind. He leads from the front. So when he says, Abraham, leave your father's house, leave your mother's house, all he's saying is leave the familiar, leave the things. In fact, many of you will have to leave where you have been celebrated to go to where next is asking you to go to. So when he told Abraham, leave your father's house, leave your mother's house to a land that I will show you, I will show you. I can't show you beside you. I'm already in front. And so Abraham had enough wisdom, enough sense to know, if God says leave, if God says go, if God says move, it's because he has gone. And if I am here still analyzing, by the time I'm ready to follow him, I can't find him. And so this Sunday morning, after all that we have experienced yesterday, the traveling, the prophetic, the wilderness experience that has brought you to that point of birth, the Lord is asking me to tell you in a very, very, very brief moment that there is still something left. They call it the obedience of faith. You've written the vision. The vision has been activated. It has been born. What next? Obedience of faith. He told Abraham, he said, live where you are familiar to a land I will show you. I have not shown you yet. But then the Bible says, Abraham departed. He kept following. He kept following. He kept following. This is a clarion call to a generation. It's a clarion call to Mount Zion. After all the encounters, it's now time to follow. I will follow. Even when all I know is the next step without knowing the last step, I will keep following. God can never misdirect your life. God never makes a mistake with what he says you should do if it is him that said it. Follow you. That's my commitment here. I have met God in Mount Zion. I have received the instructions on my trip to Zambia, and they're already being actioned. Now, one thing is very important. When it comes to the subject of obedience of faith, timing is key. Please follow this. I'm teaching you from my heart now what he has placed in my heart. Timing is key. Some people follow, but they follow late. Now hear me. When God says go, it is because he has gone. God doesn't lead from behind. He leads from the front. So when he says, Abraham, leave your father's house, leave your mother's house, all he's saying is leave the familiar, leave the things. In fact, many of you will have to leave where you have been celebrated to go to where next is asking you to go to. So when he told Abraham, leave your father's house, leave your mother's house to a land that I will show you, I will show you. I can't show you beside you. I'm already in front. And so Abraham had enough wisdom, enough sense to know, if God says leave, if God says go, if God says move, it's because he has gone. And if I am here still analyzing, by the time I'm ready to follow him, I can't find him. The obedience of faith is timely. We must not just follow, but follow on time. This was one of those very uncomfortable trips for me, but this is where God decided to meet me. You can imagine I say, no, I can't make it this year, I'll make it next year. The thing he wants to do in my life now, I will have missed it. So there are people showing up too late after God has left. This has helped me in no small way. When God says move, he has gone. He's ahead. He's leading. He's showing. Our duty is to keep following. And so the Lord spake to Abraham by verse 4 of Genesis chapter 12. So Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken to him. All he knew was move, and on the way I will be showing you. And Abraham departed. While others are asking to where? Abraham kept going. Did he miss road? No. Yea, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Psalm 23 that you all know. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. You are leading me through it. The problem you go through things. You may even go through rejection. But it's not what you are going through. It is where you are going to. It's not what you are going through. It is who is there with you through it. And so in this brief charge, the Lord is saying, tell them in the first service. And everything is just in order with what God is saying. There is a lot of meditation that must now go with you from here. What has God said that I haven't yet obeyed? And there should be a cry for mercy. Lord, I am sorry. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sorry for the waste of time. I heard the story of a man who was called of God in the United States to go to a particular city. He didn't like the place. It wasn't a place where ministry was flourishing for any other ministry. And God began to deal with him and speak to him. And he was still debating and said, Lord, is there another option? And the Lord said to him, he said, I am not surprised. You are not the first person I'm giving this assignment. You are the sixth person. And all have refused to go. And I'm already planning to tell somebody else the same thing. And that's how the man obeyed. Why have we delayed in birthing? Oftentimes it's not because we haven't passed through the wilderness. It's not because we don't have prophetic words released over us. One missing factor many, many times is the timely obedience of faith. As we conclude, I'll share these few thoughts with you. This would really help you when it comes to stirring up your faith in obeying God, leading to the birthing of what He has placed in you. There are a few things you must know about God. And so one of the things that you and I must realize, from Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20, the Bible says God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ever ask or think. In the obedience of faith, there is a concept we must come to terms with, and that is the ability of God. God is able is a revelation on its own. The one who brings to the point of birth is able. And maybe a few thoughts would help us, and you'll pick it and pick what concerns you. I will run through them. 10 10 of them very quickly. We see all through scriptures the ability of God hidden from place to place. And you know, anyone who will engage the mystery of the obedience of faith is doing it with a revelation of the ability of God. And so 10 things very quickly, or 9, or 10 depending on time. Number one ability of God we must never forget is that God is able to save to the utmost. Please follow this. You may be wondering, how does this lead to birthing? Just follow. You need a revelation of the ability of God. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 25. He is able, wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that come to God by him, seeing that he ever liveth to make intercession for them. And so if you are like some of us and God gives you a mandate to a generation and you're wondering how will it happen? A generation that the previous generation may think there is nothing good that can come out of us. When you have a revelation of the ability of God, particularly the ability of God to restore, to save a generation, then you wouldn't have as much difficulty in following the leading of God to do so. Number two, God is able to keep us, or maybe you make it personal, able to keep me from falling. What a revelation that is. Today in our world, we see many fall that we never thought will fall. We see some people we've looked up to and we may not really be able to define the happenings around their lives now. Our duty is not to condemn. Our duty is to understand the ability of God to keep us from falling. Now, let me quickly say this. As God begins to lead you, not everybody will remain for you. I'm not sure when Abraham left, everybody in his family supported him. But it didn't take long. Everybody now reconnected back to him because you couldn't get blessed without that. So God is not just able to save to the uttermost, God is able to keep us from falling. Jude chapter 1 verse 24. He's able. Even if culture says everybody falls, the God I know is able to keep me from falling. Number 3, revelation of the ability of God that will aid your obedience of faith is God is able to exceed our expectations. He's not just able to meet them, he's able to exceed them. If you can conceive them, he can exceed them. He's able to exceed our expectations. That, of course, is from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. Number 4, God is able to kill and to make alive. First Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. Acts 26 and verse 8. Acts chapter 26 verse 8. Why should it be thought an incredible thing with you that God will raise the dead? God is able. This is not just in the physical. God is able to make alive dreams, visions, destinies that seem to be dead. Is able to make alive. Number 5, you will love this. The God that I know is able to engrace a man. He can move you from the point of disgrace to the point of engracement. In 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 8. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 8. And God is able to make all grace. You see, all of these scriptures we are studying and exposing, you see, God is able, God is able, God is able. God is able to make all grace abound towards you. So in case you think you don't have what it takes, God is able to increase. He's able to make all grace abound towards you, that you always having all sufficiency in all things may abound to every good work. The work He's sending you to do, He's able to engrace you to do it. He's able. And I am what I am by the grace of God. Paul the Apostle said. Number 6, quickly. God is able to anoint, announce and appoint. God is able to anoint, announce, and appoint. All at the same time in one sweep. Follow it again. He's able to anoint. He that anointed thee is God. 2 Corinthians 1:21-22. He's able to anoint. He's able to announce. He's able to appoint. Number 7. And this one is for somebody here. God is able to overturn, and overturn every situation. Ezekiel chapter 21 verse 27. I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until it comes whose right it is, and I will give it to him. He's able to overturn. And when the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, Psalm 126 verse 1-6, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord has done great things for them. And then we replied, you are not wrong. The Lord has done great things for us, whereof we are glad. He said, turn again our captivity, O Lord, like the streams in the south. He said, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He said, he that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves with him. Number 8, God is able to make wise, so I can follow him. I may not now have the capacity to do the things in my own capacity that he has called me to do, but he's able to make wise. If you can do it without God, then be sure it is God that you are following. He's able to make wise. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 15. And that's why his word is able to make wise, because he is able to make wise. Number 9, God is able to restore all that has been lost. And so he said, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. So in case you have lost anything in the wilderness, he's able to restore all that has been lost. So I can now follow. Do you know that song? I will follow you till the end of time. Anybody? Do you know that song? Nobody? Okay. We can release our faith in following every instruction because he's able to restore. Joel chapter 2 verse 25. And this is more of a personal mandate for me. It's what the Lord told me. He said, I am able to reclaim a generation. I'm able to restore the fire. And I'm able to revive a people. And so if I am able to do it, your duty is just to follow me. So you can put number 10 as yours. God is able to bring to pass his mandate upon my life. Whatever he has assigned you to do, whatever he has commissioned you to do, he is able. As you leave this conference, As you leave Mount Zion today, go back over the things, instructions, commands, the biddings He has given to you. And ask yourself, am I really following? Is my faith involved in this, or am I waiting for everything to be right before I obey? Maybe the Lord has been placing in your heart to serve in this ministry, and you are watching. He's already looking for somebody else. Maybe He's given you a mandate to go into the market space. You are watching, you are wondering. Maybe He has given you an evangelistic mandate. You are watching, you are looking. You know, the reality is God often speaks to us in secret. So you can be living in disobedience and still be carrying a form of godliness. I wouldn't deceive you to tell you that following God is not costly. In fact, another title I've given this message is the cost of birthing. You don't pay with dollars or pounds. You pay with obedience. And whatever the obedience brings with it. Sometimes with persecutions. Sometimes with rejections. Sometimes with weeping.